What's up, guys? Dan here from BeGameCharacter.com. Welcome to another edition of Q&A Tuesday. Sorry this is a little late. You might not be seeing it until Wednesday. I went to go film earlier and found that my battery in my camera was dead. So I had to recharge that, and by the time it was done, I had to go to judo and blah, blah, blah. A whole bunch of crap piled on top of each other. So we're recording late, uploading late. Might be Q&A Wednesday. Who knows? Still rhymes. Okay, so we got a couple of questions here on Google Plus from Mohammed Kanoon. He asked, what inspired you to create BeAGameCharacter.com? At the time that I created BeAGameCharacter.com, it was actually BeAGameCharacter.blogger.com, and I was working at a job where I had a lot of time on a computer, but at the same time I was locked into a network where I couldn't play like online games or anything like that, and I also had a relatively weak laptop, so I couldn't play that much. I had Minecraft, that was about it. So I was really bored. I had nothing to do. I would sit there and I was doing audiovisual work, so I was watching like projector shows for like hours on end with nothing to do. And I was like, I gotta do something with my time. I do have internet access. I just can't play games on the internet, so what am I gonna do? And I was like, I could write. And I was like, what am I gonna write? So I ended up settling on writing a blog. And I was like, what am I gonna blog about? And I mean, when I say my whole life I've been trying to become a real life video game character, I'm not exaggerating. That's actually what happens. So I was like, well, I've been trying to do that my whole life, and at the time I was really into Assassin's Creed, and Ezio himself really lent himself well to the idea, the format I was going to go with. So I was like, dude, let's do this. It's totally cool. Put it up. Maybe people like it. Maybe they won't. Turns out they did. Here we are. So really, it was just kind of the inspiration was boredom and the desire to share what I had experienced and learned in an effort to help other people kind of like bridge that gap. I mean, I spent a lot of time floundering around in the dark before I figured stuff out. So teaching other people, the mistakes and pitfalls that I made and cutting those out, I figured a lot of people, would really benefit from that, really improve their life with that. So that's kind of what started it. From the forum, we go to Vincent Madden, who asked me, Fallout or Elder Scrolls? I'm going to have to go with Elder Scrolls. Not that I don't like the Fallout series, but when Fallout 1 and 2 came out and Fallout Tactics, I was not really aware of them at all. I wasn't a PC gamer at the time. I didn't play them that much. I think a friend of mine played it, but I didn't really get into it. So it doesn't have that nostalgia thing for me. So I didn't pick it up until Fallout 3, which Fallout 3 is awesome. But to be honest, it's a little bleak for me. Like, I like post-apocalyptic situations and stuff like that, but an open-world game in a post-apocalyptic setting, it's just a little, to be honest, it was just a little, I wouldn't say depressing, because I don't mind that, but it was just bland almost. Like, just the landscape was all monotone, and it seems like the characters were all just kind of like variations on grizzled post-apocalyptic person. So I don't know. Fallout 3 didn't really capture the magic for me. I haven't played New Vegas yet. I know I should. And I know Fallout 4 is going to get announced, so I am excited for that. Maybe it'll pull me in. We'll see. But for me, got to go with Elder Scrolls. I mean, I've been playing Elder Scrolls since Morrowind. I didn't play the ones before that, but Morrowind just got its hooks into me and pulled me in. I'm that guy that read every single book in the game, okay? Like, I'm the guy that, played through multiple times, and I still go back and play Morrowind sometimes. And Oblivion, same deal. And then Skyrim, I think I've logged almost as many hours on it as I have Morrowind, so that's just, I'm an Elder Scrolls guy. Favorite assassin from Assassin's Creed? I'm going to have to go with Connor. Ezio's a better assassin, definitely, but I like Connor better as a character. Do you personally prefer bodyweight or barbell/dumbbell training? That's tough. I really like bodyweight training. It's cool. Most of the workouts on the blog are bodyweight oriented, partially from the lack of equipment required, and partially just because I think it's really cool to be able to move your body and do all kinds of stuff with your body that people who are possibly stronger than you can't necessarily do because they don't have the coordination for it. So that's cool. At the same time, I love lifting weights, and I love being big and strong and feeling like I could lift a car. Fun fact, I actually did lift a car. Now, granted, it was a Kia Rio, so it wasn't a big car, but you can ask, there were multiple witnesses there. We had a Kia Rio with flat tires and an icy driveway we had to move, and we couldn't get traction because it was icy and wet and stuff like that. So I literally grabbed the back end of this car and deadlifted the back end of this car so the other two guys that were with me could push the car forward while I was lifting the flat, locked-up tires off the ground, and it was one of my most awesome moments in my personal opinion. But so I love lifting weights too, so it's tough. I don't think I'd be able to pick. And in fact, I think I'm probably going to go back to weight training come this winter because I'm going to go and bulk up again. I'm looking to gain some weight, put some muscle back on. And I think even when I go back to weight training, I'm probably going to keep up with my Ninja Warrior stuff just to keep that body coordination and management. It might get a little heavy for some of it, so it might be a little harder, but I'm going to keep climbing rocks. I'm going to keep doing all the different obstacles I got in the backyard. Going to nail that salmon ladder. New Dante or old? There's a new Dante. Your feelings on Airsoft. Airsoft is fun. I've never really done it myself. I've done paintballing. But Airsoft, I've messed around with Airsoft guns. They're tons of fun to play with. I haven't done actual, like, go out and, like, you know, Airsoft fights with, like, people. It seems like it'd be a good time, but I don't see what, I mean, I think I'd just go paintballing, honestly. But, I mean, if somebody wants to get me Airsoft equipment and bring me to an Airsoft arena and we'll do Airsoft, I'm down with that. I think it'd be tons of fun. I love paintballing, so Airsoft would be cool, too. How are your feelings on Assassin's Creed Syndicate from what we've seen so far? I'm optimistic. I think it looks really cool. I like the idea of two different protagonists, the boy and the girl, the brother and sister. That sounds really cool. I love the setting. That and Industrial Revolution in London is just that's so much cool stuff you can do with that. I have to be honest, I didn't really get all that into Unity. Like, I don't have an Xbox One or a PS4 yet, so I can play it on that. And I just haven't picked it up for the PC yet. I played it at a friend's house a little bit, and I watched some videos, and that's about it. And just, Arno didn't grab me as a character. The French Revolution setting is really cool, but for whatever reason, it just didn't really tickle my fancy. Didn't get there, so I don't know. Unity kind of made me go ho-hum. I haven't checked out Rogue yet. I will soon. But I'm optimistic for Syndicate. It looks like it's going to be pretty cool. And then there was two posts in between here. So Gilver asked, are there plans to add a skills section to the forum? And yes, there is plans. I am hesitant to subdivide the forum any further just because traffic there is still pretty low. I want to get more people involved because in order to support multiple sub-forums, you need to have enough people to populate them. Otherwise, it ends up like the Fighter, Warrior, and Rogue. I mean, the Fighter, Tank, and Rogue sub-forums that we have right now, which are basically unoccupied. So yes, I do want to add a skills section, but probably not for a little bit until we get more people on the forum. So the faster we get more people on the forum, the faster we get a skills section. Then we'll bounce back to Vincent Madden, who asked Flash or Arrow. And I have to say, I've fallen behind on both shows. Don't tell me any spoilers. I'm like halfway through season 3 right now. I have to finish watching the rest. But I have to say Flash, just because I feel like he's more true to the actual DC character. Arrow, I like watching the show. But Arrow, the character, as I specified in Arrow, when we covered Arrow on the blog, is not Green Arrow from the comics, and I love Green Arrow. And Arrow is not Green Arrow. I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to convince me he is. So I have to go with Flash just because he's a little more true to form like the original Flash. He feels a little more like a real DC superhero, not as grim, darkety dark. And then going back to Gilver, building on that, will we see an entry for the Flash? Maybe. I'm not sure. A lot of Flash really depends on his superhuman abilities. In fact, all of Flash depends on his superhuman abilities for the most part. He doesn't have anything in particular of note about him besides the fact that he's tapped into the Speed Force. I mean, that's not true. There's other aspects to his character, but, I think we will probably cover the Flash at some point. It's probably not going to be soon. In the meantime, if you want a Flash-style workout, go check out Sonic the Hedgehog, because that dude's not even human. So that was Vincent Madden and Gilver back and forth there. Gilver was the one who asked about building on that. Will we say an entry for Flash? Finally, moving on to Barnier West. How often do you pray to Brodin? It has been too long since I have stepped into the Iron Temple. I have not sacrificed myself on the altar of iron in quite a long time. And that's mostly because I don't have a gym membership right now and I don't have enough weight in my house. I need more weight. What is a gain? The gain is it's the measure of your offerings to Brodin and his rewards in those offerings. What exactly do you say to Brodin to maximize gains? Brodin does not speak in normal human languages. Brodin speaks in the clank and shudder of weights as they raise off the ground and crash back to earth again. How do you measure gains? You measure gains in Brodin's favor, and you measure gains in Brokey's fear of you. And what games do you think have a lot of replay value? and what games do I find myself replaying the most. We're going to go back to Vincent Madden's question and say Elder Scrolls. You can put basically any Elder Scrolls game in front of me, and it doesn't matter if I played it before or not. I will just keep playing it. I'll just play it for a long, long time. I will play it for more than I should. I will play it to an unhealthy level if you let me. So, Elder Scrolls series, anything. I still play Morrowind sometimes, so that's definitely one, is any game in the Elder Scrolls series, particularly Morrowind, because I feel like that's a masterpiece of gaming. Other games that have replay value, Chrono Trigger, I've played through quite a few times, and that's fun because it's got the new game plus feature, which some RPGs do, which is a lot of fun. That's a good time. Mirror's Edge, the first-person parkour game, I found myself playing that quite a few times just because it's short and it's quick. I wish they had just an open world map option, because then I wouldn't even play the storyline anymore. I just do open world the whole time. Maybe the sequel, when it ever comes out, if it ever comes out, they'll do that, because that would be really awesome. Another game that has a lot of replay value, and by the way, I'm knocking out fighting games and stuff like that. I'm talking like storyline games here, because fighting games like Smash Brothers and Street Fighter, I mean, I still play those constantly. We go back to Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on that. The original Smash 64. Another game, Spider-Man 2. That's what I was going to say. Spider-Man 2. That had like the best Spider-Man feeling ever. Like just swinging around Manhattan. I still like turn on the GameCube sometimes just to swing around Manhattan. Like that's literally all I do. Like I've beaten the game. They have open world mode. And I'm just going to go swing around Manhattan. I'll go beat up some bad guys. I'll swing around Manhattan some more. Same goes for the Batman games, particularly Arkham City. I still play Arkham City like crazy just because you feel like the Batman. It's awesome. Batman. Anything else of note for replay value? I've played Illusion of Gaia like 20 times because that's just my favorite game of all time. But yeah, Mega Man X, I've played tons. That's just a fun game to play through. Yeah, I think that's it. So, there you go. That's Q&A Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and post more questions down on the forum. If you haven't seen a new site with a new front page yet, go check it out. It's a work in progress, but we're getting there. Also, we need to vote for characters, all right? Characters coming up next week, next Monday. We're almost done with Gabriel Belmont, who we're covering on the blog right now. After Gabriel, we need a new character, so go to the forum and vote. And besides that, live boldly, change the world, and continue to be awesome.